Hi everyone, hope you're all well. In today's video, we are going to talk about accessiBe and the importance of online accessibility as well. In this video, we'll explore how accessiBe is revolutionizing website accessibility and making the internet more inclusive for everyone. Join us as we delve into the power of technology in breaking barriers and ensuring equal access to digital content for all. Let's get started. So, what is accessiBe? accessiBe is an AI-powered web accessibility solution designed to make websites more accessible to individuals with disabilities. It aims to help website owners comply with accessibility standards and regulations such as the Web Content Guidelines and the Americans with Disabilities Act in the United States. Their vision is to transform the internet into an inclusive and accessible realm. Currently, countless websites remain inaccessible, leaving people with disabilities disconnected from the digital world. But accessiBe believe it's time to break down those barriers and usher in a new era of inclusivity and equal access for all. To facilitate this, accessiBe featured two platforms that revolutionized the way websites could offer an accessible interface, called accessWidget and accessFlow. So let's first talk about accessWidget and how it works. So this is the accessiBe website and this is the accessWidget page. So the accessWidget is a feature offered by accessiBe as part of its web accessibility solution. It's an accessibility interface that is added to the website, allowing users to customize their browsing experience according to their specific accessibility needs. So the accessWidget appears as like a small button, something like this, and it's usually located on the website's corner or edge. When users click on it, a panel or menu opens up, presenting various accessibility options and adjustments that they can make to enhance their browsing experience. Some of the features that the accessWidget includes is text customization. So users can adjust the text size to make the content more readable, and they may also have the option to change the font styles as well. You can see here at the corner of the website, they have this version of their accessibility adjustments. So you can see like the adjust font sizing option is here. They also have color contrasting as well, and color adjustments. So users can modify the color contrast between text and background to improve visibility and eligibility as well. You can also update the cursor size if you want to do a big white cursor like over here, and you can see that changes the cursor. Or if you want to do a big black cursor, and then you can see that changes the cursor to a black one. So it's really kind of flexible in terms of how you want your website to look as well. Users can also enable screen reader adjustments as well. And you can choose an accessibility profile that suits you as well. Users can also have the option to disable animations and flashing as well, which can be problematic for some users with visual sensitivities or certain neurological conditions. And by providing all these customization options, accessWidget aims to empower users with disabilities and cater to their unique browsing requirements, making the website more inclusive and accessible as well. So let's look at a website using the accessWidget. So this is the Dolce & Gabbana website, and you can see in the corner of the website here, the corner left at the bottom, there is that accessibility widget, and users can go to this widget and essentially update the website, the look of it, so that it suits their accessibility needs. So for example, if we scroll down, you can see that we have the ability to highlight titles, and you can see now on this website, the titles are all highlighted up in the middle here. We can also increase, for example, the font sizing. So we can increase it by a few percentages, and you can see that gets bigger as well as the text at the bottom as well. We can also do some color adjustments. So you can see there's a light contrast option, there's also a dark contrast option, and we can also adjust the text colors as well. So you can see the dark contrast changes everything to the dark contrast mode, and you can also see that the text colors as well we can highlight. And the title colors we can highlight in different options as well. So in terms of color adjustments, there's a lot of adjustments that we can make. We can also switch something into high contrast and low contrast, and that makes it a lot easier to kind of play around with the settings and also make it more visible, but in terms of the text and the buttons as well. The accessibility feature also offers this reading guide. So this is really useful for pages that have a lot of text. It essentially includes this blue bar that users can use to read the big paragraphs of text that can also happen on a website. It just makes it easier to follow along the page and just makes it easier to follow along the words as well that are being written as well. And again, we have the options to change our cursor if we wanted to change the cursor to a slightly bigger, darker one or a slightly bigger white one. And again, just makes it easier to navigate the page and know where the cursor is at all times as well. And you can see that the color settings that we've chosen will stay across the website as we navigate from page to page. So we still have the high contrast, we still have the cursor selection that we've already made as well. So the Access widget utilizes two applications that work together to remediate your website. The accessibility interface is responsible for the UI and design related adjustments, while the AI-powered processes handles the complex requirements and optimization for screen readers and also keyboard navigations as well. The combined power of two applications works in tandem to improve your website's accessibility. The accessibility interface focuses on the UI and design-related enhancements, and through this interface, users can customize their browsing experience and adjust these elements such as font size, color contrast, and cursor size as well, just to suit their needs. And the second component is an AI-powered process that tackles more intricate accessibility requirements. It optimizes the website to ensure compatibility with screen readers and enhances keyboard navigation as well, enabling users to navigate and interact with the site efficiently using only their keyboards. By integrating these two applications, Access Widget offers a comprehensive solution that addresses various accessibility aspects, making your website more inclusive and user-friendly for all visitors, regardless of their abilities. So the next feature that they have on their platform is Access Flow, and this is pointed towards the developers that are creating websites, but with the focus on accessibility within their source code as well. So Access Flow is another feature offered by accessiBe, and it's part of their web accessibility solution as well. It's an enhancement designed to address one of the main challenges in website accessibility, which is to create an accessible and navigable experience for users who rely on keyboard navigation. So keyboard navigation is vital for individuals with motor disabilities or visual impairments, and they can't use a traditional mouse or other pointing device. But not all websites are optimized for keyboard navigation, which can lead to difficulties in accessing content and interactive elements as well. Access Flow addresses the issue by improving keyboard navigation across the website. When enabled, Access Flow allows users to navigate the website's content seamlessly using only the keyboard, without the need for a mouse either. It ensures that all interactive elements such as links, buttons, menus can easily be focused on and activated through keyboard commands. The Access Flow feature aims to meet the accessibility standards outlined in the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, which is particularly the criteria related to keyboard accessibility. And by enhancing keyboard navigation, Access Flow contributes to a more inclusive online experience, making it easier for people with disabilities to access and interact with web content as well. So why is it important for developers to incorporate accessibility in their source code? It's crucial for several reasons, one of them being inclusivity and equal access. So by implementing accessibility features, developers ensure that their website or applications can be used by individuals with disabilities like visual impairments, hearing impairments, motor disabilities, and cognitive disabilities as well. It promotes inclusivity, allowing all users to access and interact with digital content on an equal basis. In many countries, there are legal requirements and regulations mandating web accessibility, such as Web Content Accessibility Guidelines and the Americans with Disabilities Act in the United States. Non-compliance can lead to potential legal issues and also financial consequences. By considering accessibility, developers open up their products to a broader audience. People with disabilities make up a significant percentage of the global population, and neglecting accessibility can result in excluding a considerable number of potential users that you might have. Many accessibility practices align with good SEO also known as search engine optimization practices. So for example, providing alternative text for images not only helps users with visual impairments, but also benefits search engines in understanding and ranking content. Accessibility features often enhance overall usability for all users, not just those with disabilities. For instance, clear and well-structured content benefits everyone, including those using screen readers. Demonstrating a commitment to accessibility enhances a company's reputation and reflects a socially responsible approach to technology and development. Many government agencies and businesses prioritize accessibility when selecting vendors or partners for projects, making it a competitive advantage as well to have accessible products and accessible web platforms as well. Designing accessible interfaces often require creative problem solving, leading to innovative design solutions that benefits all users. And lastly, simple just ethical considerations. Ensuring equal access to information and services is an ethical responsibility, and developers can contribute positively to this and to society by making their digital products as accessible as possible. So here are some of the best practices for website accessibility. Improving website accessibility involves following specific best practices to ensure that all users, including those with disabilities, can access and interact with your content. Some of the key best practices include adhering to Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, so the WCAG. So you want to follow these guidelines outlined by them, and they are a widely recognized set of recommendations for making web content more accessible. Currently, WCAG 2.1 is the latest version, and it provides guidelines for creating accessible content, navigation, and interactions. Next thing that you want to do is provide alternative text for images. So this is essentially descriptive alt text for all the images so that users with visual impairments can understand the content of the images through screen readers. You want to utilize semantic HTML elements like headings, lists, and paragraphs to create a clear and meaningful page structure, aiding users with assistive technologies in understanding the content. Next up, we have ensuring keyboard accessibility. So make sure all interactive elements like links, buttons, forms can be accessed and operated using only the keyboard, as some users can't use a mouse. And ensure sufficient color contrast between text and background to improve readability. So you want to avoid relying solely on color to convey important information. So if you have something on a light background, you want to make sure that the font and text on it is a little bit darker. Similarly, if something's on a dark background, you want to make sure the text and the font is slightly lighter. You want to provide captions and transcripts for all audio and video content, so it's accessible for users with hearing impairments. And you want to use appropriate labels for your forms and your field sets and legends to make forms more accessible and easily navigable as well. Avoid flashing or rapidly moving content, as it can trigger seizures and cause discomfort for some users. And you want to use focus styles, so ensure that interactive elements have a clear focus, making it easier for keyboards users to identify where they are on the page. Responsive design is one of the most important concepts, and essentially you want to create responsive design that adapts to different screen sizes and devices, ensuring accessibility across various different platforms. As you're developing, it's always a good idea to regularly test your website with screen readers, voice recognition software, and other assistive technologies to identify and fix potential accessibility issues. Minimize the use of pop-ups and autoplay for media content, as it can be disruptive and challenging for some users to manage. And you should always include skip links, so essentially skip to content links that allow users to bypass repetitive navigation and jump directly to the main content. And lastly, keep navigation simple and consistent throughout the website to enhance user experience and ease of use. By implementing these best practices, you can create more inclusive and accessible websites, ensuring that all users can effectively engage with your content regardless of their accessibilities. Remember to perform regular accessibility audits and seek feedback from users with disabilities to continuously improve the accessibility of your website. So let's have a look at some examples of websites that do have good accessibility functions. So this is the profile tree website, and you can see that we've got some good functions already in place to ensure smooth smooth experiences for people with accessibility issues. You'll notice that with the color, there's a lot of good color contrast going on. So everything's on a dark background, but the font itself is white. So all the font is really easily readable. You can also switch between the font contrast. So if you wanted a darker contrast, we had the dark mode, and then you've got the lighter contrast as well. And on the lighter contrast, everything is on a white background or a light grey background, but the font itself is this darker font, including the darker greens and the darker blacks as well. We also have alt text as well. So the alternative text presents the content or function of an image to screen readers, users, or in other situations where images can't be seen or unavailable. And you can see that that's been added in all of the images as well. So that's also another good example of good accessibility. We also have good heading structure across each of the pages, especially the home page. So headings facilitate page navigations for users of assistive technologies, and they also provide semantic and visual meaning and structure to the document. So first level headings should contain the most important headings on the page, and this is generally the page title. And lastly, we have ARIA labels. So ARIA labels define accessible names to be read by screen readers for interface elements. They may be used with HTML associations, and they're not always sufficient as well. Thank you for watching our video on accessiBe and the significance of web accessibility. With accessiBe's AI-powered solution, websites have become more inclusive and welcoming users of all abilities. Embracing accessibility online not only benefits those with disabilities, but also enriches the online experience for all users. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share, and spread the message of accessibility for a more inclusive digital world. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content, and until next time, stay accessible and keep making a positive impact online.